everybody. Hello, it's me, Gina Brogan. How are you? I am here and I hope you are too. All right, some people are asking, how do I get in there? So I'm just gonna be letting them know. Okay. Let's see. So hi, how are you guys? This is so exciting. So I love how, don't you love how I'm doing a Divine Feminine Energy workshop in like a complete boy room. I'm at my friend's house in Los Angeles because I'm traveling and this is where I am. And I'm in her son's room. He's like, I think he's 13 now. So yay to the yay. Just tagging people who said they want to be here. And la la la. Okay. There we go. All right. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here. Okay. So why are we here? I want to talk about what it means to, what is a divine feminine goddess? And how do you develop and access your divine feminine goddess energy? Hello, Annette. Thank you for being here. And as we get started, I want to invite you to ask any questions whatsoever, invite friends in to watch it, share the video if you want. And I'm going to talk about like what it means to be a divine feminine goddess. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you're a constant girly girl, as you know, you may sort of think, like, do I have to be a girly girl all the time? I find it so ironic and interesting and lovely that I'm a total tomboy, you guys, and I am teaching divine feminine goddess energy, because really what I think of it as is you're actually balanced in your energy, your masculine and feminine energy. And why we have to kind of teach this so much and learn it at this day and age is because the masculine and feminine energies of the globe and of humanity have really become way out of balance. And women have been trying to keep up because with men, and we've closed off. We've stopped accessing and tuning into our divine feminine. So that really results in us being out of tune with our intuition, out of tune with our true nature and energy. We've lost sight of who we are. We've lost sight of our purpose. We've lost sight of our real creative magic. So I've taken some notes, so I'm going to be glancing over here at my computer because I want to make sure I hit all the really high, the bullet points. I also want to ask you guys to ask questions, and I want to ask you guys to say, hey, I want to hear about this, or, oh, that's I didn't know about that, or whatever. And so, hi, Rhonda. Thank you so much for tuning in live. I'm so glad you're here. And I want you to interact here with me. I want you to ask questions, comment, and whatever else comes to mind. If you want more, what's the word? Clarification on something, ask, raise your hand, all the things. And yes, it is hilarious, isn't it, that I'm like in a total boy room giving a feminine energy class workshop. What we all know, though, I know we've been taught this, we've been told this, we're learning this, that divine feminine energy, divine masculine energy they're not about gender. It's not about gender, right? It's about energy. And so we have both masculine and feminine energies within us. Everybody does. And one of the reasons why I believe it is so important to teach people about this and to practice developing and activating our feminine is because we really have lost sight of it, because we have bought into the masculine agenda. And the patriarchy is so empowered right now and so out of balance that we have lost sight of our true power. And when we get back in touch with the true power that is within us to manifest, to create, to bring forth life, then we realize and step into and live from our inherent worthiness. Raise your hand, give me a love heart shower if you have struggled with your own worthiness issues, where you have been overgiving or under asking, under receiving in your life. And as a result, you've ended up in some type of imbalanced, abusive, toxic, codependent type of relationship. And thank you for all the love heart showers. I know that we can do the healing to find that balance within ourselves. And this is what the real magic is, you guys. When you heal within, you heal yourself, you find that balance within yourself and activate your divine feminine. You heal the wounded feminine. You heal the wounded masculine in you, that shadow feminine and masculine. Then you step into your divine, and that's where you become incredibly powerful. You learn what your purpose is, and you actually can live your life from that elevated and evolved space where you have the confidence to go after your dreams and desires, to live with purpose, to speak your truth, and to really, truly live a joyful, prosperous, loving, generous, abundant life. So some things I want to talk about, like to give you some ideas of like, what is, if you think about some archetypes, some feminine archetypes, and you think about like we've got the mother. The mother is a feminine archetype. Hi, Jenny Lynn, I'm so glad you're here. Now, every archetype, masculine or feminine, has the developed, the balanced, the divine version, and then the wounded, the unhealed, the shadow version. And so you may find yourself as, you know, embodying the mother archetype, sometimes in your divinity and developed, and sometimes in your shadow. And when it's undeveloped, we operate from our shadow, and that doesn't serve us. And so if you see yourself in this, you have ways, we have ways. I'm going to teach you ways to develop all of this within you. And it's so magical when you start to feel like I am worthy of being the full goddess that I'm here to be. Annette says, haha, I've really been working on my ability to allow myself to show up as a feminine, beautiful woman because I've been trying to avoid being attractive to men. Yes, Annette, and you and I have talked about this, how you have been afraid to be your most gorgeous, vibrant, fiery, beautiful self for fear of attracting those unwanted advances, or attracting shame or abuse or any of that other stuff that comes with being a beautiful, attractive woman. And when you are, as you are stepping into, when you create that sense of safety and security and worthiness and beauty within, then you know it is safe to be the most and fullest expression of you. And that's when you learn that you no longer have to turn down the dial on you. And this is why so many women across the globe have dimmed themselves. They turned their lights down so as not to outshine others or draw attention to themselves. And now what are we doing? We are waking up. We are waking up by healing from the inside out and allowing that inherent radiance that's within each and every one of us. We're turning that light up and allowing that light to shine for the world to see. We are becoming trailblazers. We are becoming leaders. We are becoming those mothers who we really want to be. And we are blazing trails for the next generation. So as you heal from the inside out, you heal your family, your community, your city, your country, and it just goes bigger and bigger. The power of your healing ripple can be felt throughout the universe. So this work is not trivial, and it is so very, very important. And I thank you all for being here and learning about it. I will be just scratching the surface on some of these ideas and concepts. So I really, really want you to ask any questions that you really want to know about and comment either in the replay or in the live here with whatever comes up for you. So thank you so much. And if I don't get to a comment while I'm speaking, I will get to all the comments before, because I don't want to lose my train of thought, but please do leave your comments here. So what is a divine feminine goddess? What is your idea? If you have any question or any ideas, when you think of a divine feminine goddess, who is that? I was talking about the archetypes. I'll just go over 4 archetypes right now. We've got the mother, the creatrix. That is somebody who's creating, an artist, a painter, a writer. And we've got the healer. We've got the healer. People who are nurses, teachers, psychics, coaches, mentors. All of those types of people are healers, right? And then we've got the warrioress, and they are the people who are fighting for justice. They're taking a stand, and they're out there leading rallies and blazing trails, right? So there are several other archetypes. And like I said, they all have their light and their golden sides, and they all have their shadow sides. So if you want to hear about any one of them, let me know. And I can message you. We can talk about it offline, or you can ask questions here, and I'll try and answer them here. But so divine feminine goddess, in her truest nature, she is nurturing, and she's got the motherly energy, and she's affectionate. She's creative. She's warm. She is sensual. She loves beauty. She brings peace and harmony. She's collaborative. She loves to create communities and be in communities and contribute to communities. And she brings peace and harmony wherever she goes in her divine fullest expression, right? She's empowered from within. This is something we all strive for, is to be empowered and worthy from within, not to look outside of us for that worthiness and that validation that we're okay. This is something I work with my clients on all the time, is not looking outside at our partner or our job or our money or our things to say, I'm valid, I'm enough. And when you really can develop that sense of worthiness from within through some of the healing practices and modalities that I'll be teaching, that's when you really do embody that balanced energy between the masculine and the feminine. The other strength is her intuition. This is something we have cut off from ourselves so badly that we no longer trust ourselves, even though we know certain things in our knower, but we are looking outside. Raise your hand. Give me a love heart shower if you have been one of those people who says, do you think I should get the green or the blue? Do you think I should live in New York or California, where you really have a hard time? Do you think I should have tea or coffee today? Like, even some of the most small decisions you struggle with because you're looking for others to say, is this okay? You struggle with giving yourself permission to make decisions. This was me for many, many years, especially I remember specifically, I was in my early 20s and I was out on a date with this man who I really, really adored. I really liked this guy. And he said, where do you want to go for dinner? And I was like, I don't know. Wherever you want to go, because here's where I was coming from. I thought, I want to make it so easy for him that I won't have an opinion. And this was coming out of when I was coming out to not be a nag. So not being a nag, not speaking my truth, I really turned down the volume on my preferences, my opinions. I had no boundaries. And so I thought I was making life easy for him. Oh, we can go to Mexican, Italian, French. He can make the decisions. In reality, what I didn't know at that point in my life, and now I do know, is that a man in his divine masculine, he wants to do three things. He wants to do many other things. But if you think of these three things, he wants to provide for. So he wants to provide for the people in his life, the people in his family, the people he needs to take care of. And in providing for, he also wants to protect. He wants to protect. He's got very protective energy. And the other thing is he wants to provide pleasure. He wants the people in his life to be happy. He wants to give them the things that make them happy. So by me not having an opinion, I was actually taking that away from him, taking that joy away from him to bring pleasure to my life, because I didn't give him any direction. They do like to have direction. So what I know now is when I am tapped into my truth, I do have preferences. I know what I desire because I give time and space for me to know myself, to honor what I desire. And this is one of the key aspects of developing your divine feminine, is to carve out time and space every single day to listen to your body, listen to your heart, listen to your mind. And when you are tuning into you and tuning out the noise and the distraction and the fear and the draining energies from the outside world, what you are doing is developing your intuition and tuning into your inner guidance. And when you learn that that is where all of your answers lie, then you will learn how to notice, you'll learn how to discern when you are making a decision from your inherent worthiness versus from your fear of lack, your fear of scarcity, your fear of competition. Thank you for the love heart shower. Thank you, Lenora. How are you? I am so glad you are here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, Helene. Hello, Helene. Okay, I've got to let my child know that I am on a call. My workshop. Okay, so thank you for being here. So one of the things that a divine feminine goddess knows, she knows it deeply because she's developed this energy within her, is that she is always safe. She is always protected by the universe. She is always open to her divine guidance from within. And her divine guidance from within, I love Aiden. Say hi to Aiden. So your divine guidance from within, how do we even know what's our divine guidance? First of all, what I want to tell you is this. Your desires are safe guidance. That is where it all begins. Now, one of the problems, and this is something that I come across with my clients all the time, when I say, what is your vision for your life? And if you struggle with knowing this, don't despair, do not fear. Oh, I just turned on the flash. It gives it a little more light. If you don't know what you even desire out of your life, never fear. It's in there. Your desires exist within you, but they may have been covered up with layers and layers of old ideas, old stories, old beliefs, and lies that you are not worthy of your desires, that you're selfish, greedy, or entitled if you have desires. So you may have covered them up, buried them so deep down inside that you don't even know. That was me a few years back. I remember my mom said, my therapist said, my coach said, what do you even want? And I said, I don't even know. But here's the good news. You may know what you don't want anymore. If you can tap into the pain in your life right now of things that you no longer wish to live with, then you know the opposite side of that stick is your desires. And as you do the healing work that I will teach you, you will start to allow your desires to come up. You will start to give them voice. You will start to give them energy. You will start to give them emotion. And that's how you become a divine feminine goddess who manifests and is magnetic for her desires. So, I have so many notes here, so I'm going to try and keep it clean. We have a little more time. So, oh, this is really powerful. A divine feminine, in the divine feminine, the energy is, it's not something you tangibly can see or hear or taste or touch or smell. It's an essence. It's an energy that you feel. So you can't look at somebody and judge by the way they look, or judge by the things in their house, or judge by anything tangibly that they are in their divine feminine. You feel it. It's an energy. You feel uplifted around these people. You feel inspired. You feel safe because she's coming from that place of safety. I love you, Lenora. I love you. She is coming from that. She's created that sense of safety in her own energy field. And from there, she knows she never has to compete. She never has to control. She never has to manipulate or force anything into her existence. She simply attracts it. I want a love heart shower. If you know that feeling, if you've been in that space before where you've just felt like, oh, the world is mine. I feel so alive. I feel light. I feel happy. I feel joyful. Divine feminine energy is joyful. It is light. It is also deep. It is emotional. So when you start thinking about how can I develop this and activate it within me, I want you to think about a few things, okay? I want you to think about healing the wounded feminine within you. You probably have ideas about where it is not safe to be a woman or a girl. You may have feelings around how you have been abused, how you have been shut down, how you have been diminished because you're a woman or a girl. And when you start to do the work to heal that, heal those wounds and love yourself and allow for those wounds to come to the surface in a safe and sacred container, that may be with a therapist, with a coach or mentor, within a group, a healing group. Hi. That will allow you to create that sense of safety within yourself. And this is something that I can, if you have questions about how to do this, message me, because this is really the deeper part of the work that I do with my clients. So we do this healing work through allowing ourselves to feel all of our emotions. One of the biggest things that has happened to us, as not just as women, just as people, as a society and culture, is we have shut off our emotions. We have learned that some emotions are not okay. Some emotions are not allowed. And so we have shut ourselves off from them. I have clients who, for example, a story of one client who was, she was taught early on that crying isn't okay. So she was telling me a story about, I said, when did you first learn that? Do you even know? And she said, yes, I know exactly when it happened. She was a young teenager and lost her cousins in a car accident. She had twin cousins and they were both killed in a car accident. And they were her age, so they were very close to her. She was overcome with grief, and I think their father or their mother was also killed in that same crash. And what happened was, a couple of months later, yeah, very, very sad. A couple of months later, when she returned back to school or whatever, her friend said, hey, you know what? That was like 2 months ago. Get over it. Why are you so upset about it? And I think her family also was like, come on now, we need to move on. We need to get back to life. But so what really that message she got was, your feelings are not okay and they're not valid. And you need to stop having them. And the reason was around her friends and around her dad, I think it might have been. Her big emotions were too big for them to feel and made them feel uncomfortable. So as a result, she learned she learned that viscerally, that in order to stay safe in her relationships and to be approved of, that she couldn't have big sad emotions. And so she learned to bury them. She cut off a deep, deep part of who she was. I want you to raise your hand here if this has ever happened to you, and I'm sure it has. I mean, I know that this is very common, and it's really interesting. I was telling a girlfriend of mine, my chef at my retreat, who is a very long time girlfriend of mine, I was telling her this story about my client, and she said, and so oddly enough, her daughter, who's 18, lost her boyfriend about 2 months ago to an overdose. And my friend's daughter's father said, after a couple of days, he said, get over it. You knew this was coming, and you can't be doing that around here. He literally kicked her out of his house because she was overcome with grief. Fortunately, she was able to move in with my friend, her mother. But yes, it does. It leads to depression. It leads to dissociation from our bodies. We dissociate from who we are because we say, well, this aspect of my personality isn't good, isn't okay, and I need to shove it down. So I know that one of the things that really tunes us out of being in touch with our bodies and ourselves is that we are told that what we feel, even if it's our big exciting emotions, one of the things that used to happen to me in my relationship was I was super bubbly, I was happy, I was so full of energy, and that made my husband very uncomfortable. So he would tell me, hey, knock it off. One time he just said, hey, stop it, you're being a crazy bitch. Because I was singing and I was really, really excited. And so I learned to be very quiet, and I just toned down the part of me that makes me unique. It makes me fun. It makes me me. So I want you to, if you have a journal right now, or even in the comments here, what part of your personality, what aspects of your personality have you shut down? Have you said, this is not okay? If I'm to this, I'm going to lose the affection, the approval, the attention of the people in my life. And this happens on a subtle level when we're very young often, where we're like, hey, be quiet, you're to this, or hey, you need to settle down, or why are you dancing around, or get over it, don't cry. All of these messages we picked up, we were told, oh, that's not okay to be. And that's how we disconnect from our true selves, and we leave our center. So healing that little girl inside of you is so powerful. And part of that healing practice is to allow the fullest expression of who you are. And that comes from allowing all of your emotions. I have another client who was, we were about a month into our work together, and she was actually really starting to break through, and she was able to experience some emotions. And it was, so we were on a call, and she said, yeah, I don't know what happened, but this experience happened. And then I just went home, and because she had been working with me, she knew to just go home and be at home. And she was learning how to stop overscheduling her life, because that was depleting her, this need to be the center of attention. So she was practicing like spending time alone, and that was very new to her. So she's like, yeah, I went home and I cried like a stupid idiot for 45 minutes. And I was like, wait, what happened? Why did you just say you cried like an idiot? She's like, because crying is not okay. There's no crying in baseball. And crying is stupid. And I was like, oh my gosh, this was such a breakthrough. Such a breakthrough. First of all, she cried uncontrollably for 45 minutes. Imagine all that toxic energy that has been stored up in her body for decades. Decades. She allowed to release from her body. And that is literally where a massive healing took place. But she didn't know that that's what was going on. And I said, where did you learn that crying is stupid or not allowed? She says, well, it just is. It was a belief. It was a belief she held within her. Because I'm going to tell you, does anybody know what a belief is? How do we develop our beliefs? We develop beliefs because we've thought a thought over and over and over. We've been told, so it's programmed into us. And anything that we are told as young children, before the age of 7 or 10, we adopt those beliefs like sponges. That's why it's really easy to teach children languages before the age of 7 or 8, I think, because they pick up everything, right? So if you're told, stop crying, don't cry, don't be too loud, you're too this, you're too that, blah, 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 you're bad, you're bad, you're bad, you're going to believe it. This is why we actually live with so much unworthiness and so much self-hate and shame. And I want you guys to start reprogramming yourself to fully love every single thing about you. Yes, she purged those emotions from her body. And they're like, we store, if you haven't heard of the book, what is it? The Body Remembers, I can't remember what it's called, but I will. Basically, the point is the body stores emotions. And so my client who learned, get over the grief, get over it. She learned it in a visceral sense in her body. It is not okay to have big emotions. And so when we disassociate from our emotions, we teach ourselves to not trust ourselves. And being a divine feminine goddess, you trust yourself. You trust your messages. You trust your hits, your desires. Oh, I want to go, even the desire to go get a donut. The desires to live with more freedom. The desires to want to be on stage. The desires to want to help people. Those desires are your safe guidance. They're actually everything that you truly desire deep down. A, it will be a theme throughout your life. B, it will feel good when you think about it. C, it's yours. It's yours alone. Nobody else has the same desires. First of all, there are desires that have been placed in your heart specifically because they are where your purpose lies. Not everybody in the world has the same desire to be a coach or a mentor or to lead retreats like I do. Those are my unique desires. So they come from the desires placed in my heart and also from your life experience. So the contrasting experiences you have in your life, like, losing a partner, losing a friend, or the way you were raised in your home that kind of didn't feel good, they planted more desires. They affirm your desires. So it is your job and your responsibility to start tuning into them and to do this healing work so that you can start to listen to your desires and follow them without fear of punishment, without fear of loss. I started following my desires about 5 years ago to become a coach, even though there was nothing in my life that would indicate that I would be a good leader or a coach. My life was a hot mess, but the desire came from somewhere so deep inside, I couldn't ignore it. And I want to hear from you right now. Do you have desires in your heart? Do you have a desire to travel? Do you have a desire to dance? Do you have a desire to be an artist? Do you have a desire to sing? Do you have a desire to lead people in a certain way? Do you have a desire to heal others? Do you have a desire to go into communities and educate children? What are those desires in your heart? And that is coming from your divine feminine goddess inside of you. Thank you, Rhonda. That means everything to me. Thank you so much. And so are you. You are so good at what you have the desire to do that as you start to do it, the universe will provide the stepping stones. You can't get it wrong when you follow your true north. You can't get it wrong. The only time we get it wrong is when we dissociate from ourselves and deny our truth and our desires and our inherent worthiness. I am not following any of my notes, by the way, which is freaking hilarious, isn't it? Helene, you are a healer. You are a true natural healer. And I bet a lot of you are in here. And I want to talk real quickly because, Helene, I know the struggles that you've had, and I hope you don't mind me sharing, not the details, but the general themes. You, being the healer that you are, have entered into imbalanced and codependent relationships with people who were in their wounded masculine. And you got into this space of overgiving, right? And then you get into this space of, I'm never enough. And have you ever felt like there's no amount I can give to this person. I'm going to keep giving and giving. I will keep giving to the point where I have once again gone off my center. So, you know, many of you know my story of codependence with my own son, who struggles with, you know, being on the spectrum. He struggles with high anxiety. Always, his whole life, he's had behavior challenges, social challenges, and addiction challenges now. And you know, this is where, you know, that big contrast in my life has led me to this path to teach about codependence, because it is what I deal with all the time. And when I started going to Al-Anon meetings, I learned, wow, by me going into the black hole that he's digging and really giving up pieces of my life, hoping to save him, is not doing anybody any good. And so I started to protect myself. I started to continue, you know, I really continued and leaned even more into what are my desires, who am I becoming, and by doing that, in order to do that, I had to have boundaries. I had to learn boundaries. I had to learn what mine were and how to communicate them and maintain them. And what's really interesting is that has led to a lot of healing, a lot of growth, and a lot more freedom for me, and a lot more healing for him, because I wasn't enabling him. What's the word? Ironically, right now in this very moment, he's struggling again really deeply. His father and I, because I have done the forgiveness work with his father, I've done this changing my inherent worthiness as a mother, I've healed the relationship with his father and I. So we co-parent together, and now we have the strength of both of us to help our child to the best extent that we can, without over enabling, without being the codependent, you know, people that where we give up ourselves. Like, to be honest, I could have easily canceled today's workshop and said, I've got to tend to my son. There's too much going on. But I knew that would be enabling him more, sending him the message, I don't believe that you can pull out of whatever you're going through right now. And it would also be sending the message, I will cut off my growth, not do what I am here to do in order to save you, while you're making decisions that are not saving you. Does that make sense to you guys? And when you start to establish boundaries with people who are used to you not having boundaries, they will become very angry. They will not like it. And it will be your job to continue to connect with your center and to do the healing work to say, this is the best for me. And it is hard to break those patterns. We are actually addicted to the hormones of stress. And when you start to do the healing work inside of yourself, you let go of those addictions. And you start to create self-care rituals, self-care habits that help you overcome those addictions to stress and allow, like, one of the things that the one client of mine who said she cried like a stupid idiot, she now cries freely. She is somebody who is really getting in touch with her emotions. It's a journey and a process. It does not happen overnight, but she's doing it. She has had one breakthrough after another, and she is now in a completely new relationship with a divine God. They are actually a power couple, and this has happened in less than 3 months. So she came to me a year out of an abusive relationship, highly toxic, highly codependent, and she was trying to extract herself, but she couldn't. She just couldn't stop the patterns. And she started doing the work with me, and she was experiencing, like, she was practicing boundaries, doing new things, getting new results and new outcomes, and starting to feel oh, okay, this is interesting. This is very different. I'm doing things differently and my life is feeling different. And when she got out of that chaos and confusion loop, that she had been in for 10 years. She was actually a year out of this relationship, and as she was starting to date other people, she's like, why do I feel guilty? She felt guilty for dating other people. She was afraid that he was going to find out and punish her or pull away more, because even though she knew this was a toxic, abusive relationship, she wanted to cut it off. She was addicted to it. So we've worked on breaking that addictive pattern. So she felt guilty for moving on. She also felt this sense of like, why do I feel good that he's not thriving and I am? I kind of feel like this, schoolgirl, nah, 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 nah. And I said, that's okay. It's okay to have that emotion. Feel that emotion. Feel it fully and don't judge it. This is another part of the healing process. So as she's breaking her addiction to the stress, the hormones of stress, which is being in that fight or flight, getting that sickness in your stomach when you're with a codependent person, that happens. You will feel it right here as you start to move out from that. Then she started to realize, well, I'm bored. Her life started to feel boring because she wasn't in a constant state of chaos. Raise your hand, love heart shower, if you recognize that, like, you kind of thrive on the drama cycle. That's an abuse cycle, right? And as you do the deep healing work, you will go through a period of like, wow, my life feels boring. Somebody's really feeling it, yeah. And when you actually get used to that life isn't boring, this is you coming to balance. It's you coming into balance and getting into the homeostasis of your divine feminine energy. It is so powerful because from this place, now you learn that you can fill your cup. You fill your cup. And then when your cup is full, you can give from your overflow. It's a very different energy to give from your overflow. I've got enough, and now I can fill your cup. I can nurture you. I can lead you. I can teach you. I can give to you. That is a very different energy from giving in the please like me, please don't hurt me, please stay with me. Can you guys feel the difference? I fill my cup. I'm full. Because every day I practice my habits of self-care. I get enough sleep. I am now a sleeper, you guys. I've been a chronic insomniac my whole entire life, and now I'm a sleeper. This is a big deal. So through your habits of sleep, through your habits of nutrition, movement and exercise, through your habits of meditation, which can look like anything. It doesn't have to look like that. However, it can look like anything. If you want to replace the word meditation with quiet solitude, like think of quiet solitude as tuning into your own rhythm. Tuning into your vibration, tuning into nature, tuning into Mother Earth, me, quiet time, journaling, getting in touch with that little girl inside of you who is so craving attention, affection, approval, and validation. She's craving it. And in the wounded feminine, she goes looking for it outside. In the healed and the healing and the divine feminine, she knows how to nurture that within her. Lots of notebooks. Yes. When you fill your cup, and I have millions of ways to tell you how to fill your cup. It looks like all kinds of things, right? And I will list some. Not even touched my notes. what happens then is you never compete. You never have to manipulate and play games in order to attract and receive the love that is yours. That is your inherent worthiness, your birthright. And when you walk in the state of faith that I am worthy because I exist, not because of what I'm putting out there proving, that's when you allow for the magic. The roadmap shows up. You don't have to seek anything out. It comes to you and through you. So I know we're wrapping, we're kind of getting on to an hour here. So I want to, I've only gotten to one. The first thing, how to tap into and activate your divine feminine energy. First of all, heal those wounds. Second, number 2, commit to your self-love and self-acceptance. Commit to that however you can. Take small steps, mirror work, look in the mirror and say, I love you. And start to believe it. Remember how we create beliefs? Beliefs are simply thoughts that we've thought over and over and over again. And one of the ways I teach people how to replace old beliefs that no longer serve you, you can't erase them. You can't say, stop hating yourself, stop beating yourself up, stop this, stop feeling unworthy. Instead of erasing a behavior, a belief, a thought, an idea, replace it. This is where your daily gratitude, your daily affirmations, your daily mirror work will help you create new beliefs. Not erase, but replace. The full self-acceptance means looking at those shadow aspects of yourself. And if we work together, we can work on what those look like. For one of my clients, it was like the need for attention, to be like the center of attention, that king point, that center point for all the activities going on, because she needed to be needed. And that's just a wounded feminine need to be, okay, I'm valid, I'm worthy if everybody relies on me. And when you have everybody relying on you, what are you doing? You're over-giving, and you're taking other people's responsibility away from them and making them dependent on you. What's the angry face for? Who did an angry face and why? So, when you learn to give people responsibility for their own stuff, they can stay on their side of the street and you can know what's yours and what's not yours. Then you're doing the healing. So, connecting with your body will awaken that divine feminine within you. And there's so many different ways to do it, but breath work, yoga, those things, doing yin yoga, which is feminine yoga. It's resting, it's meditative yoga. It's not that active, holding hard poses for a long time and really working on your balance and your struggle and your muscles. It's what's the word? Restorative. Look up restorative yoga. You can find it on YouTube. It's much more passive and relaxing for your body, and it's very, very powerful to awaken within your body your feminine energy. Also, breath work will help you move the toxic emotions from your body. You will have it. If you look up Wim Hof breath work and find a breath work facilitator, in your area, that's a very powerful. For some people, they think it is the most powerful healing modality that we have right now to help people process and express toxic energy in your body. I think Yoga Nidra is one. Yeah, is that. Hold on, I just have to tell my kid's dad. There. He needed me to come get something. So Yeah, no, Yoga Nidra is this, right? Wait, it goes. Is that Yoga Nidra, alternate nostril breathing, which I think balances your energies, right? Thank you for that, Helene. Sensual pleasure. How many of you deny yourself sensual pleasures and, you know, like delicious food, warm baths, beautiful aromas? I mean, there's no accident that the healing arts and what is it, the essential oils industry is so big right now, because there really is healing energy in essential oils, and it's a sensual pleasure. Massage, dance, these are all ways to connect your body and to do body healing and connection and expression. Expressing through your body is a wonderful way to connect and do that healing. So getting outside. Oh, it's not? Okay, I thought it was. But yeah, I don't know. That is some kind of thing, breathing thing. Anyway, getting outside with Mother Nature. Okay, here's why it's so important. First of all, grounding. We pick up so much energy through our bodies, right? We pick up so much, all the energy around the people we're around, the energy of digital signals and Bluetooth and satellite stuff all over our world, right? And when we are in nature, and what we do is we ground ourselves. We ground, like we're electric beings, right? If you think about it, we have electrical currents running through us. If you are outside, taking your shoes off, getting into dirt, and just spending a little bit of time each day walking on grass, standing on grass, playing with dirt, that will ground you. Also, there are certain foods you can eat. If you feel like your energy is scattered and all over the place and you're really flighty, I used to mistake that for, ooh, I'm just super high vibe, but I wasn't. I was flighty, I was flaky, I was really just zoomy energy. It was when that zoomy energy is left untethered, then it's spacey and all over the place. But I learned to ground my energy and touch Mother Earth, and it just like takes those negative ions or whatever. I don't know the technicalities of it, but I do know it grounds me to the earth. And in nature, this is a big one, guys. This is really, really big. Nature, when you're fully in nature, say you're in a forest, say you're at the ocean, say you're at a lake, say you're just in a nature place and you're surrounded by nature, there is no resistance. There's no ego saying, hey, bird, to the birds aren't going, should I fly to that thing? La, 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 should I fly over there? You know, like lizards aren't wondering if they should be like on this rock or that rock. They're going by their instinct and intuition. They're just being. And when you spend time in nature, you connect with the energy and frequency of nature. You release resistance. There's no resistance in nature. So that is a big thing to help you develop and fine-tune and activate your divine energy. Releasing resistance, and you're tuning to the higher frequencies of nature. You're raising your vibration. All of these things we do are raising your vibration and elevating you as you evolve into the divine feminine. So getting outside, tapping into the divine feminine energy by feeling all of your feelings without judgment. We've talked about that. Getting comfortable speaking your truth, okay? First of all, you have to know what your truth is. What do you stand for? What is important to you? And as you do this work and tune into your body, then you're not looking for everybody else. Should I do that? Should I do that? Should I do this? Should I do this? I know a lot of people, myself included, are looking all around for like, should I be like that influencer or that mentor or that coach? Should I do? And I finally was like, I got to tune into this. I have to tune into who I am and what my message is. I know everything inside is everything that is inside of me, that comes through me, because I open myself to be a channel. By removing my ego out of the way, I open up, and the channel is, I am the channel for the message. I am the messenger of God, as are you. So you don't have to look around and say, what should I say today? Open up and tune into your message, and your truth. And if you are in Next Level University, I have a master class or a master course, Next Level University. We talk about that. What is your message? What is if you're on the top of the rooftops, what are you here to say and share and be in the world? And are you able to speak up for yourself calmly and firmly? So here's the thing: what happens when we give away our what is it? We negotiate or violate our own boundaries, is then we build up resentment, and we feel so much resentment. Then we lash out and say, I told you I didn't want to come over today. I told you. And we get angry, and we're not able to communicate our boundaries and our voice from a place of firm assertiveness, because we've been too passive. And then when we get passive, we build resentment, and then we get aggressive. This was the story of my life for so many years. And now I'm safe in expressing my needs, my desires, and my boundaries. And don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect at this. This is a work in progress, as all of this is. We all are here in the spiritual school. So that's why I call it Next Level University, because you are becoming the master of you and learning what your unique curriculum is. So learning how to set healthy boundaries in your life is part of speaking your truth, okay? Another one is to know who you are. Who are you on a soul level? You can't know that if you do not spend time by yourself, if you do not spend that quiet solitude time. You cannot hear the whispers of your soul when you're constantly scrolling on Facebook or watching the news or listening for, asking your friends or your partner what you should be doing all the time, or seeking validation from the outside. You will miss the whispers on your soul. The whispers on your soul are quiet, and they're not shouting at you. They're talking to you, but you won't hear them if you're looking outside. So another one is honoring and exploring your sexuality. And this is something that so many women have cut off from their lives because of shame, because of early abuse as children. They've learned that it is not okay, and or it is not safe to be fully expressed sexually. And there are things you can ask yourself, like, am I confident asking for what I need sexually? It's funny, I had a client who had never really experienced an orgasm because she didn't know. She just really felt like sex was there, like to keep the guy around, not really for her to enjoy pleasure. And she really didn't know how to. And well, we'll just say this much: she's learning how to now, and it's wild and it's amazing. She's experiencing pleasure, providing, and protection on ways that she never even knew existed. I had another client who said, she was learning to date new guys, totally new, next level guys, not wounded masculine, but divine masculine guys. And she was actually attracting really amazing guys, but she's like, I would never swipe right on whatever way you're supposed to go on guys who looked like they made a lot of money or who looked like they had their lives together, because they wouldn't like me. And then I was like, so we did an exercise. You guys might want to try this exercise if you struggle with dating and relationships. Ask yourself, what are all the reasons that the man in my life dreams? Like, if you have a vision for a partnership, and if you haven't seen it, I did a workshop the relationship vision that's in one of the guides in this group, creating that relationship vision. What are the reasons he wouldn't stay with me? He wouldn't want to be with me. If he really knew me, why would he not stay? This is a powerful, powerful question to ask yourself. Okay, so, and carrying on with the sexuality, do I know what I like or want? Do you even know what you want or like sexually? How do you feel about your body, about your whole body being beautiful and lovable? And then how do you feel about your sexual organs? How do you feel about your breasts and your hoo-ha and your pussy? Go get the book Pussy if you want to learn more about it. That is a powerful, powerful book. Am I able to speak up and set boundaries with my partners to have my needs met in bed? Or do I just always just go, oh, never mind, not this time? When you don't communicate your needs, remember, a divine masculine man, he wants to provide for, he wants to protect you, he wants to bring pleasure to you. That's his number one goal. Because he knows if you are happy, he is very happy. Are you able to fully, fully receive pleasure? Ask that in your journal. Okay, another really big one about divine feminine. Stop doing and start being. I don't mean fully. So a divine, fully balanced person has the balanced energy, right? But what we're doing as a culture and as women, we're doing too much. We need to feel like we're always busy, always productive, making things happen, checking things off the list, la 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 la, right? Getting exhausted, depleted, overwhelmed, and under energized. The act of sitting. That is why meditation is so powerful. So powerful. I kind of let you off the hook up there earlier when I was talking about something. Meditation is a no-brainer, you guys. Daily meditation allows you to connect with the divine. And the divine is what you cannot see, taste, touch, hear, or feel. Well, you can feel it. I mean, you can't feel it tangibly. You feel it. It's an energy. So daily tapping in makes you so much more magic. You no longer, you learn that actually time is malleable. It's how you bend time, you contract time, or you expand it to meet you. This is where the magic happens, in you being. You will find that the more you meditate, the less you have to do, because the universe does so much more for you. It lines up the opportunities. It takes care of things on your list. It makes life easy for you. And this is the thing that most people don't acknowledge. This is where the magic lies. This separates the divinity, the people who live those magical lives, who magnetize everything they need and want to them, from the people who are spinning on the hamster wheel. That's the magic sauce. Tap into your intuition. This is just carries right on with the doing and versus being. Regardless of how tuned in you are, there are ways and tools you can use to develop your intuition. Use oracle cards, use pendulums, use crystals, use your journaling, use your channeling. Open yourself up to channel. Ask your guides, pray to your guidance. Sit and listen, and what comes through, journal what comes through. Practice this every day, and you are becoming more and more in your divine. Create sacred space, create sacred rituals, create that habit to connect, to tune in, to divinely communicate with the universe. It's a two-way radio communication. It's two ways. It's so beautiful and powerful, you guys. So create a sacred space. So if you have a place and time, or a, you know, like I have a breathing practice I go through that signals, okay, it's meditation time, because I don't have a space because I travel so much. But and I don't have a time either, because I'm either, you know, with kids or with clients or whatever. Like I say, I have my client time, but I would say there's a time every day, but I know how to trigger myself to go there through my breath pattern. And then I teach my body, when I do this, I'm going into the receiving mode. There was a guy, this, you know, the muse comes, like, it's Pressfield, Stevens Pressfield, who wrote The War of Art, not The Art of War, but The War of Art, the war of like showing up every day. You have to make yourself stop. Yes, it is a practice and it is a commitment, and it is not easy because we're programmed, but you're reprogramming your mind and body. So you will keep on practicing. So he said, yeah, I write when inspiration hits me. And fortunately, inspiration hits me every morning at 9 a.m. because I sit there and wait for it. Do you get it? So some of us try and get away with like, oh, I'll do it when I get around to it. Same with exercise, right? Oh, I'll fit it in. You've got to be the one to make it happen. That is part of being a leader and being in your divine feminine, saying, I am worthy of this time and space. And you train yourself, you train the people in your life, and you train the universe. I'm here, and this is what it looks like in my ritual space and time. Okay. Any questions? There's so much more I can add to this, but I really want to leave some space for questions. I want to also let you guys know I have a special Black Friday offer for people to work with me one-on-one. And if you are open to hearing, if you want to hear what that offer is, I just want you to say, hey, put Black Friday in the comments, or message me and say Black Friday, and I will send to you what the special offer is. I also have an amazing offer for my Next Level University, the introductory course, at a discounted price. And this is a very easy access price point. This is a no-brainer. And this Next Level course, Next Level University. So I have my master course, which is 6 weeks. It's pretty intense. And it's got trainings and workbooks and all that. The introductory course is, I think, 3 videos and a workbook. And it is delivered via email, and it is a great way to easy access in there, to start doing some of this work and developing that communication with the universe and stepping into your divine feminine receiving. So I have two special offers for you. One is for one-on-one work together, and the other is for the what's it called? The introductory course. Next Level University, the introductory course. So message me or put in the comments here. Thank you, Helene. She wants to do a Black Friday special. And I will contact you and I will let you know what that looks like. I want to know here, does anybody have any questions? Is there anything? I actually have a client call in 15 minutes. So Rhonda has taken the introductory course and she absolutely loves it. I mean, you manifested some pretty incredible things just by that course alone, haven't you, Rhonda? You have, I mean, I've been keeping in touch with you along the way, and I'm really, really happy for all the stuff that you've called into your life. And you're only going higher. You're elevating, you're evolving, and you're asking for more. And the universe is delivering. All right, you guys, I'm going to finish up. I'm going to go get some water and get ready for my next call. I just want to say thank you. The gratitude, you guys, is so overflowing for me to you. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for engaging. Your energy is always, always, always welcome. It adds to the group. It adds to the experience. So if you have questions, going forward on the replay or whatever, Oh, it really helped you heal. That, thank you. That is music to my ears. And Rhonda, you know, this is what it's like when you really do step into it, right? You said I'm so good at this, but this is just me being the meest me I can be. And that is what I want for each and every one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye. Thank you.